Excuse me. Good morning. On behalf of my family, I'd like to thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for being here today. This is an extremely difficult time for us, and sharing this with you is comforting. And I'd also like to especially thank the men and women in uniform that are here. Over the last few days, I've had a chance to spend some time being comforted by you. And last night, we had a special service from the Fraternal Order of Police, and you adorned his casket with flowers, and today you join us again to adorn his memory with honor. And I thank you. We thank you. I'd just like to take a few minutes of your time now and just share with you some of my memories of Sonny. I've been asked by many people what it was like to grow up with Sonny, and one of the answers I would give is that he was a man about character. Some of you who knew him from his earlier years might think I was saying he was a character, and some of you might think that I'm saying that he was a man of character, and yes, I believe that to be true as well. But he was a man about character. The character of the people he met was the way that he saw value in people. Your race, creed, or color had absolutely nothing to do with the way he sized you up. Growing up in a Korean Protestant Christian home, it was a certain lane of people that I interacted with on a regular basis, but with Sonny, his friends were all white, black, Latino, Jewish, Muslim. And those were genuinely his friends. Those were genuinely the people that he called friends, because he didn't look at anything about the exterior, but he looked at the character of the person. And that's a lesson that will indelibly be with me. To be honest, until he married Jessica, I wasn't even sure he liked Asian people very much. The other thing I knew about Sonny was, growing up with Sonny, I grew up with a police officer. I grew up with a police officer. He became a police officer when he was 21, but he was always a police officer. Many police officers that I've met, they've had fathers or uncles that were police officers, other family members that were police officers, but there was none of that in our family. But Sonny, when I grew up, I wanted to be an astronaut or a baseball player, but with Sonny, it was just always one thing. That tunnel vision to want to be a police officer all of his life. He was so proud to wear that uniform. He was so proud to be a part of that fraternity. As an aside, I've also been asked, why Cincinnati? The earlier years of our childhood, we lived in Cincinnati, but at a certain time, we moved to Chicago, and he went to high school there. But then after that, he had to come back to Cincinnati. People have asked me, why did he want to be a police officer in Cincinnati? And the only thing I could think of was that I've often thought maybe it was something about the people here, something about the values or the sensibility of the people here, the way people here shake hands, the way people here hug each other, the way people here say hello. He loved this city. He loved the people here. But the answer I give most when people ask me what it was like to grow up with Sonny, it was like growing up with the Incredible Hulk. It was like every day, you know, when your brother is a black belt in karate, and when you have arguments, those arguments don't last very long. And there was no such thing as a fight. That was always pretty one way. You know, I think about our earlier childhood, and he was so committed to training. He was so committed to being a practitioner of karate. He was so focused. And I think some of that rubbed off in just his everyday persona, being kind of hard on the exterior and being kind of curt with his words and being, you know, when I would ask him a question, the answer was yes, no, or get out of here. But there was a day, I still remember, when all that changed. It was the first time I saw him holding Timothy. And he held baby Timothy, and it was different. He was so proud to be a family man. And he doesn't get to do that anymore. But today, I stand before you, and I'm heartbroken. But there is hope in my heart, because that day will come again, when we'll see him in heaven. I'd like to conclude by sharing a poem with you. It reminds me of Sonny and the life he lived, and a Bible verse that reminds me that the life he lived was well lived, and that he's in a better place now. So live your life that the fear of death can never enter your heart. Trouble no one about their religion. Respect others in their view, and demand that they respect yours. Love your life. Perfect your life. Beautify all things in your life. Seek to make your life long and its purpose in the service of your people. Prepare a noble death song for the day when you go over the great divide. Always give a word or sign of salute when meeting or passing a friend, even a stranger, when in a lonely place. Show respect to all people and grovel to none. When you arise in the morning, give thanks for the food and for the joy of living. If you see no reason for giving thanks, the fault lies only in yourself. Abuse no one and no thing, for abuse turns the wise ones to fools and robs the spirit of its vision. When it comes your time to die, be not like those whose hearts are filled with the fear of death, so that when it comes their time, they weep and pray for a little more time to live their lives over again in a different way. Sing your death song and die like a hero going home. For none of us lives to himself, and none of us dies to himself. For if we live to the Lord, and if we die to the Lord. So then, whether we live or whether we die, we are the Lord's. For to this end Christ died and lived again, that he might be the Lord both of the dead and of the living. Thank you.